Real quick before this video begins, the Anti-Ninja shirts are back in the store, so make sure that you check them out in the description. But anyways, let's get back to the video. Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be looking at the evidence that the miraculous comic Trash Kraken did happen in the same universe as the show and the miraculous New York special. Now, I know that some of you guys who have already read the comic and watched the show are probably thinking to yourself, how the heck are you going to prove this? Because, to be honest, it's actually pretty challenging to actually figure out what the heck I'm even talking about, because of the fact that if you've seen the New York special, you know that there's honestly not that much that points, if anything, that points to the Trash Kraken even happening. On top of the fact that never once in the show has anyone ever mentioned Trash Kraken or Silarus or any of the things that have happened in the comic. And that kind of confuses me. And I'm sure that it probably confuses you guys as well. So, what exactly am I talking about? Well, to be put simply, a lot of the actual evidence comes directly from Night Owl. But we should probably start with the stuff that doesn't actually support this. Specifically, well, almost the entire thing. Basically, no one ever once mentions that they've already worked with Cat Noir and Ladybug. I mean, seriously, there was a perfect moment to actually talk about it for Sparrow, but she doesn't. And it's honestly unclear why she doesn't. I have no idea, but maybe one day we'll find out. And there's also just other things that honestly don't make sense. A lot of these characters don't specifically refer to them, don't mention the fact that they work together, which to a certain degree it kind of makes some sense. I mean, all of these superheroes, and they couldn't beat Trash Kraken, and then Ladybug and Cat Noir show up, and they can? I mean, seriously, someone is going to get pissed if they find out that it was actually Ladybug and Cat Noir who defeated it. So, yeah, and also probably whoever the villain is that did it probably also wouldn't be too happy either. Or would actually take advantage of it, and yeah, that's not fun. But it's complicated, and we'll be talking more and more about this soon. But let's actually talk about the actual evidence. And like I said, most of it actually comes from Night Owl. In fact, all of it comes from Night Owl. The first thing to actually note doesn't specifically come from Night Owl, but it does kind of draw some important points. Ladybug and Cat Noir, even though if they have never met Night Owl, they shouldn't know that she is a she. And they never once refer to Night Owl as a he. Like, at all. And I'm pretty sure that there are actual moments where Alia does refer to Night Owl as a he. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that at the beginning she does mention it. But Adrian and Lady Marinette, never once. They always refer to Night Owl as Night Owl, or they say them when they have to run away from them taking their miraculous, because of the fact that it's both gonna be Night Owl and Majestia. So, I see what you're doing there, Awestruck. Be careful with what you wish for, because one of us is gonna figure it out. Then Then comes the fun part. Speaking of that moment, Night Owl's request. Specifically, Night Owl says, "Give me the source of your power, and you will get it back when you return to Paris." Mm-hmm. You'll get it back when you return to Paris. Does that sound like something that Night Owl would say if he doesn't know the person? Or if she doesn't know the person? I think not. Just saying. Like, seriously, think about it. Night Owl is so freaking strict and so worried about the rules that honestly, she would never do that if she doesn't know the person. And honestly, I feel like if she was gonna take the Miraculouses, not knowing them at all, she would have just said, "Give me the source of your power." Just straight up. I'll find them better users. Or something like that. Because honestly, it's insane to me to think that that's not what she would do. But because of the fact that she specifically says, "Give me the source of your power, and I will return them to you when you return to Paris." That is honestly so weird. And I didn't really think about it the first time. In fact, I didn't even notice the first time I watched the show. But when I watched it the second time, I was like, well, that's odd. Maybe I should make a little mental note of that. And then, the piece de resistance was the frickin' end of the whole thing when Night Owl is revealing herself to Ladybug and Cat Noir, showing her face. She doesn't say anything like, "This is who I am," or anything. She's saying, "Maybe it's time I be honest with who I am." She doesn't say anything that would instantly indicate that this is the first time that Ladybug and Cat Noir are finally seeing her face. On top of that, Marinette and Adrian's reactions. They do not react at all to who she is. And I'm not kidding. I am dead serious that they do not react in the slightest towards the fact that she's who she is. Like, they've seen her before. And they've seen her without her mask before. Now, the reason I actually have to bring this up is because of the fact that they have actually reacted when they found out who someone's identity was in this special. Remember, they reacted when they found out who frickin' Uncanny was. When they found out that, oh my gosh, she's the girl that we met that at the hotel. Holy crap, this is awful. This is even more awful than we thought. Yeah, they do that. Now, I get the fact that if they saw that, if they found out that, when they found out that frickin' Sparrow was a female, they probably wouldn't have reacted as much because of the fact that they found out if Night Owl was also female. But at the same time, they don't wig out either time. Which, keep in mind, they've been keeping their identity secret for a long time, basically disguising their voices to make sure that people think that they're male for a frickin' long time. And now, they know that they're not. That is a huge factor that they really should have looked at, and they didn't. So, 100%, I think the comic at least did happen. Was it exactly how it played out in the comic? Honestly, I don't think so. There are a few things that I think didn't actually happen that were in the comic, but they didn't happen in the same universe as the actual show. Or that's primarily because the fact that it just makes sense that certain things wouldn't be the same. Mostly because the fact that a lot of character designs were completely changed. In fact, the majority of them were. So it makes sense if things aren't exactly the same for both series. So if there are some details that are missing, it does make some sense. But on that note, I think that something else may be getting revealed in another show. As you guys may recall, I mentioned in a previous video that I wasn't 100% certain if Ghost Force was actually going to be within the same universe as Miraculous. Even though there were little hints here and there, like posters of the two of them, of the two groups working together, there was just something on my mind that just kind of was misdirecting me because no heroes were showing up. And I don't want to actually go into full details on why I got confused about that, but now that I'm actually thinking about it, it actually makes a lot more sense considering the fact that they are dealing with ghosts, and they are, as a quick reminder, in the frickin' comic, they actually specifically state that, let me actually get that they are abstract creatures, and they specifically mention ghosts. That does lead me to actually think that, oh, right, ghosts probably can't be seen by everyone. Meaning that the ghost instances that were occurring probably confused more than actually the heroes would actually want to be doing something, because it just seems like something weird is happening. They can't really do anything about it. They can just clean up because there's nothing that they can do. They're not seeing the thing that's causing it because it's a ghost, so Ghost Force has to step in and deal with it. So now it kind of makes sense. But there is actually something that I think could actually be important about Ghost Force, and that is, well, characters from the comic. Now, I know that it's kind of weird to think about, but because of the fact that this is actually specifically a New York show, I actually wouldn't put it past them to actually bring in a lot of the characters from the Miraculous comic. Like, I'm serious. Like, holy crap. There are... I wouldn't be surprised if the gang shows up, or... even the rich people. I kind of doubt the rich people, but that's a story for another day. But the gang, honestly, they wouldn't surprise me at all if they show up. And the same goes for Kenya and her dad. Like, honestly, I think that people would actually be really excited to get to see them again, and especially in 3D. Because honestly, those characters were really cool, and I really do think that people would be really excited to see them. But that'll probably be what actually confirms that Ghost Force is in the same universe as Miraculous before we ever actually get the collaboration event. Like, seriously, think about it. What is the best way to actually reveal that your show is in the same universe as another show? Use something subtle to actually hint at the fact that they are in the same universe. Now, obviously, they don't want to overload the fact that they don't want to overload the show by bringing in all of the cast from the New York special with all of the heroes. So, make it subtle. Bring in the gang. Bring in Kenya and her dad. And that will make it so that only the fans of the true fans of Miraculous who have read the comics will actually realize, oh, I see what you did there. Nice. Just saying. I'm just saying. A lot of people will actually probably be really excited to see this stuff. Obviously, I would like to talk more about Ghost Force in the future, as well as more about the miraculous, specifically the new miraculouses. But unfortunately, we're going to have to wait to see how that turns out. Honestly, I will actually say this before we actually conclude this video. I do think that there will be something to do with the Native American miraculouses within a new show. Like, I actually think that they're going to be starting up a new show soon. It's going to be something like Miraculous Tales of Eagle and Uncanny Valley. I don't know. I really doubt that it's actually going to be that simple, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, especially if they were actually, because they hinted hard that there was going to be a show there, so I wouldn't put it past them. And the same thing goes for when we get to the Shanghai stuff. Honestly, I'm not 100% certain, but there is some stuff, and I definitely want to talk about it soon. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Seriously, let me know your thoughts and theories. If you are going to leave a theory, make sure to say theory review somewhere in your comment. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. And if you want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our social medias, as well as ways that you can support us financially, including our Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny. And also, of course, check out the book, Sting's Adventures, always down in the description, and the merch store, which, just another quick reminder that anti-ninja shirts are going to be back for a little while. Specifically, they're going to be going until Halloween, and basically on Halloween night, I'm going to be taking them off the store, so get them while you can. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, definitely leave a like. But anyways, guys, I have been Electric Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. Badon!